Hi, I'm Alexa, and thanks for tuning in today. In today's video, we are going over the weekly recap vlog from January 15th through the 21st. Overall, it was a pretty quiet week. A lot of just the normal routine going on, but we did have a couple garden and homesteady related things that we did. So on Monday morning, I made fried plantains with coconut oil. If you've never had plantains, I suggest that you try them. It's really easy to cook plantains. You have to wait till they're like really ripe, and then you kind of cut them in these sliced diagonals and cook them in a pan in some oil of your choice. I like to use coconut oil. We just started eating plantains just a couple months ago. I got one on a whim and cooked it up this way, and we have been loving them, and they taste really good. With my breakfast, with some egg, leftovers, and greens, and of course Carmen has to throw some bacon on it because what breakfast is complete without a couple pieces of bacon on top.
Now you got breakfast.
Chickens decided to go on to a field trip to the neighbor's house and are making their way home. Come on, chickens! Come on, chickens! Come on! The chickens were being extra chatty when I threw them down some corn, and I just really like listening to them, so we're gonna listen to the chickens talk to us for just a minute. And so I had the day off work on Monday, and I was able to do some gardening fun. I got some winter sowing done and was able to shoot a video on how to do winter sowing. So that may be something you're interested in, learning how to start your plant seeds in reusable containers outside in the middle of winter. It's actually a really fun thing to do. I will link that video down below. Later that evening, my son Lucas and I got to go on a mommy Sunday and went to go see the new Avatar movie at the theater, and we had a really good time. It was a very long movie, but it was very good and well worth I think it's like been 13 years since the first one came out, and it was well worth the wait. Great graphics. I would recommend seeing it, especially if you're into like sci-fi type stuff. Tuesday morning, the chickens were up in the front yard again. They are 100% free-range neighborhood chickens. They do what they want. Later on in the day, I took a break and went back to practicing for my ice bath. Chunk of ice. Well, I exceeded my expectations and kept my hand in the ice water for 3 minutes. Probably the first minute and a half was painful and felt like something was like stabbing my hand. And then after that, it just kind of went numb, and I didn't really feel much of anything. I just kept my breathing calm during that time and tried to keep my mind empty. And yeah, made it through the 3 minutes with my hand, so it was okay. And I probably need to start going being a little bit more brave and doing more than just my hand. So that is a task for another day. Wednesday morning, I started a batch of water kefir. I haven't really talked much about water kefir yet. I just learned how to make it last summer by a lovely gentleman who has taught me quite a bit about some different health things, and provided me with some kefir grains, and I've been experimenting with water kefir. Water kefir is a probiotic drink. You could say it's similar to kombucha, but it's all water-based. There is also milk kefir that you might see in grocery stores more commonly. However, I am trying to avoid dairy. Allows me to have all the probiotic benefits without the dairy from the milk kefir. And it takes a couple days to fully make a batch of the water kefir soda. So I started this on Wednesday and worked on it through the week. Later that evening, I had the very fun task of looking through the chicken catalog from Town Line Hatchery because we are ordering more chicks this spring. I have ordered from Town Line Hatchery in the past with really great success. The birds were all really nice, and they are located in Michigan, and so me being in Ohio, one thing that is important to me is to find hatcheries that are as close to home as possible. I know there are a couple in Ohio, but I like Town Line, and they have good prices and good quality birds. So we ordered 20 new female chicks, and they will be coming to our house probably about the first week of March, and I'm very excited to have babies again. It's raining again. Rain, rain, rain. Usually in January we're getting lots of snow. This year we're getting a lot of rain. I like that it's not freezing cold, but everything is so mushy and muddy. That's not as fun. Hello, chickens! Look, it's raining. It's raining. Yeah. So my guinea has somehow jumped over the fence and is in this side of the garden, which is off limits to chickens. And it's just down there running up and down the fence, and it can't figure to get out. Dumb bird forgets that it can fly. He does this all the time. He gets stuck in places and then he cannot figure out how to get out. So because the guinea is not very smart, I have to come in from behind it to walk it back up to the fence. So I don't think it doesn't remember that it can fly apparently. There you go, guinea. That was a little easier than I thought, so that's good. It's running back to its friends. This thing, every day it's getting stuck somewhere and just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Yeah, so guineas are really loud, really dumb, but they are also good for alerting when there is any anything at all around that they don't feel comfortable about. It could be anything. With all of our unseasonably warm weather, we've got irises that are coming out of dormancy. You can see all of them. It's not time yet. And the creek back there is flowing pretty fast. It's usually just a very slow, steady stream, but we've been getting a lot of rain and it is moving very quickly. So this area over here is my mom's gardening space. This was just an unused patch of our property that we would just mow, and it would get really weedy and we would just mow it. So my mom made this into a very beautiful garden space last year. And so it's, you know, gonna take a couple years to get it like fully put together and everything, and we have to bring in more soil and build up the beds and all. But in the fall, we planted some cabbages and we thought they all died, but I just found a couple here, so that's pretty cool. There's some cabbage plants, purple cabbage, and I'm guessing that might be a radish or something. So, look at that, Mom, you've got some food growing. Aw, Guinea, you find your friends. Did you find all your friends, Guinea? Did you find them? That's Peanut Butter Falcon. And this is Debo. Guinea. Guinea's had several names, but really we just call him Guinea. The brown one there is Blanche from the Golden Girls. Or the Dark Knight. We haven't named her. She's one of our spring hens from last year. Coco Meringue, Michelle Brahma, this little yellow bantam. We had the two and we're gonna call them Thelma and Louise, but one of them died, so that's either Thelma or Louise, I don't know. My Americana is Moira. We also call her Hobnob because she's missing a toe, or an animal ate it last year. And Mac, the silky rooster. And my kitty. Hi. It is really nice to see the sun, as it's been raining all day today and it's been very gray and overcast for many weeks. So any chance to get some sunshine is a good thing. Back here is our wooded area. This is largely unused. We have a couple paths and we have some hammocks and stuff up that we go back in the summertime, but it's mostly unused. It's kind of it's really wet on the low areas. There used to be like ponds back in here that served as a retaining area for water wheels. There was a mill that was over here at one point, a couple hundred years ago. And the water from this creek here would come in and it would fill kind of a pond retaining water area and flow through the mill. This was in the 1800s when the property was established. We call this the grandfather tree. It's like somewhere between 200 to 300 years old. It's a giant, massive tree. So over there, you can kind of see there's rocks all on the bank, and that's an old foundation where the mill was at one point in time. The founding family who built my home in 1850, they were called the Fickingers, was their last name. And it's cool to think that they had a real homestead in the sense that like they did everything here. I mean, even down to they had a mill, and used the water in the creek here to fulfill everyday needs. So it is very cool. I wish I had more history on the place. We do have some history. It's been something that I've wanted to do since we moved here, is really get into the history of the home and the family. Haven't been able to do much of that yet, but maybe one day I will. But it is really neat to think about all the families that have lived here on our property for the last 177 years or something like that, and just how much we don't know about this place and how much we continue to find every year. I see, we gotta go. Come on. Good girl. I would like to use this wooded space for something. I don't know if that's like an animal, what kind of animals we would put back here. I really don't know. I mean, I think goats do well in wooded areas, but there is also zero fencing in the whole perimeter here, and I think that would be actually very difficult to get fencing back here, just because of the ridges, the hills, and the low wet spots. And just thinking budgetary, we don't have that kind of flexibility right now to put in goat fences. I don't really know what else we could use all of this space back here for. We have 2 3/4 acres altogether, so we have a good amount of property, but a large portion of it is this wooded area, and it's all on a slope and everything, so I don't really know what else we do back there. If you have a similar setup, let me know what you do. Need some ideas. This is my Thursday afternoon little walk and talk. Apparently the garlics are sprouting up too with our warmer weather. You can see little shoots of green in there. It's not time yet, garlics. It's not time. For several months I have been trying to avoid any wheat products from my diet. It just doesn't react well with me, causes a lot of inflammation. So I do try to find alternatives to things that I enjoy. And Thursday evening, we were wanting crispy chicken, so we had chicken breasts that I actually coated with panko crumbs that were made from fried pork skins, pork rinds. A little bit different. I actually have never really eaten pork rinds until recently, as I've been trying to find alternatives. And I don't know if it's the healthiest option for you, but I wanted something gluten-free to make crispy chicken, and this actually worked out really good. The chicken was very moist and the outside was crispy, and couldn't tell the difference from it being breaded with bread or these pork rinds. So it's a very interesting alternative, but it tasted good. Friday, I remembered it had been a while since I watered my overwintered pepper plants that are living in my basement. We have a old house with a stone basement, and I have a couple pepper plants that I potted up from my 2022 garden and I stuck down there. They're kind of near a window well, so they do get a little trickling of sunlight, and I go down to water them every couple weeks. Sometimes, I mean, I do forget a lot or put it off, and they definitely needed the water, but most of them still look pretty good. They're green and alive. There's 2 of them that I think might be dead, but I'm really hoping that these pepper plants live and I can plant them out about May or June. Uh-oh. I have a goal this winter to use up all of the vegetables that I have in my storage freezers. I've been storing vegetables down there for years, and I mean, we do eat them, but there's just a lot down there. And so I made a meal with some Napa cabbage that I froze last summer and mixed it with some peppers that I had preserved, and bratwurst, and it was actually a pretty decent meal. The cabbage wasn't the best had it been frozen and reheated, but it was an okay meal and a good way to use up my harvest. Saturday morning we had some chicken chores to do and laid down new wood shavings on the coop floor. We do a deep bedding method, so in the winter time we don't really clean the coop out, we just keep adding fresh clean bedding on top of the existing, and then in the spring after the chickens move back out to their summer home, then we will clean everything out and then use all of that for composting.
I never get to hold this one. Hey, hey, calm down. Thanks.
She was in there with it all tipped over. This is cocoa meringue. She looks rough. You look nasty. Oh boy, here he comes. Little Devo. He's like mad.
Yeah.
Oh, what the heck?
Yeah.
Were they like
Talking.
buried? Alright.
So just go through.
Oh yeah, I got this thing here.
Huh?
I got this. So last week I showed you a bunch of eggs that I found in my garage barn, and I thought it was from a chicken that is now deceased or missing, but I have found the culprit. We figured it out this morning. It's actually kind of cute. So this morning I let the chickens out, and then my little yellow bantam Thelma came and jumped the fence, and we watched her like squawk around here for a little bit, and then she went in through this door here, and that's like a little kitty door. We watched her hop in and I found her inside. So last week, this is where I found her eggs and took the hay, and oh, hello chicken. Oh man, look at that. Found some eggs. Now, I've disturbed her. Let's see. Okay, so she just laid this one. It's warm, so there's 3. 4. Okay. What was this? All right, we are 4 eggs richer, which these days is a big deal. So back to my kefir water. Saturday, I took the fermented kefir water and then poured it into these glass bottles here, which when I seal them, it's going to continue to ferment and they're going to build up a pressure, and then in 2 days, so on Monday, they'll be ready to drink and they'll be nice and fizzy just like a soda. Now until Monday when they're ready, I will have to burp them, just meaning open the lid to release the pressure because it will build up inside, but really it tastes just like a nice fizzy water or soda when it's all done. So that is a little recap of the week that we had. I'm looking forward to spring. These cold, rainy days mixed with some slushy days, mixed with some snow days, lots of gray, kind of gets me not very motivated. But when we have those nice sunny blips here and there. It feels good to get outside. So thanks for watching this video. I appreciate all of you that have tuned in, and to all of the new subscribers, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here, and if you've been here for some time, I appreciate you coming back each week and checking out the new videos uploaded. I am closing in on my 1,000 subscribers. I am at 980, so this might be the week that we hit the 1,000. And again, I just thank you all for your support, and I'm really looking forward to this gardening season and be able to get into just more gardening content, different meal ideas for the things that we are harvesting. I do have several tromboncino squash, and I'm thinking about cooking those up this week and shooting a video on how I prepare my tromboncino. I have some fun different garden experiments to do this year as well, and I'll be excited to start sharing those with you once the weather starts warming up a little bit. So thank you all for watching this video, and can't wait to see you on the next one. Take care.